Welcome to the 7th installment of my travelogue, my sabbatical here in Israel. And Bill, my brother-in-law, came to Israel to join me for the week of Passover. And so I wanted to go ahead and get this video out in front of some other ones so that I can talk about Passover weekend, which includes Passover and unleavened bread, and first fruits, which is Resurrection Sunday, which all took place this last weekend. We were celebrating Passover with a group of Messianic believers who were gathering in the Peace Forest, which is a park that's a little bit south of the old city of David in Jerusalem. It was a beautiful location with a sweeping overlook of the entire countryside, and we met inside of a Bedouin tent for our Passover dinner. It truly was a magical place to celebrate Passover at. When we got there, preparations were well underway, and we just basically helped finalize a few things and then all sat down together to start our Passover meal. We're using a Messianic Passover Haggadah, order of service for Passover, which had a few differences from a normal Haggadah, mostly focusing the entire meal around its fulfillment in Jesus Christ and his death on a cross as the sacrificial Passover lamb. And since Bill was the youngest one in the group, he got to play the role of the child and ask the 4 questions, as well as find the afikomen at the end of the meal. Lucky him.
Proof.
Yes.
All right, so the child part. On all other nights, we eat leavened bread and unleavened bread. Why on this night do we only eat unleavened bread? On all other nights, we eat all kinds of herbs. Why on this night do we especially eat bitter herbs? On all other nights, we take our time eating. Why on this night do we eat in haste?
All in all, it was a wonderful evening and a great delight to be able to celebrate Passover in Jerusalem. The next day, on Saturday afternoon, we met up with some of the same people we had Passover with, plus a bunch of other Messianics in the area, to have some worship and singing in the park. We left this group to go and worship with another Messianic congregation called Nakalat Yeshuatenu, celebrating the Passover weekend and worshiping together across town. This was a very powerful and moving service. Then we went back, got to bed, and got up early for a sunrise service at the Garden Tomb in Jerusalem. What better place to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ than at the Garden Tomb, one of the best Resurrection Sunday services I've ever been to. It was almost surreal and so powerful to celebrate Resurrection Sunday at this location. After the service, we went out to get lunch in the old city and then over to the Western Wall to spend some time praying. Bill had purchased a brand new prayer shawl, a tallit that he wanted to test out, and the wall area was full of people. It was interesting. The security around the whole old city was super high all day long, and while we were at the wall praying, you could hear gunshots going off around the Temple Mount from the riots clashing with the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, up on the Temple Mount. We left the Temple Mount and headed over to the city of David, the original city of Jerusalem and the time of David, where there's an entire archaeological dig and all kinds of things to see. We went and did a virtual reality tour of the city of David, where they reconstructed the city from each of the archaeological sites around. It was pretty amazing. And then we had an unplanned meetup with the Messianic group that we'd had Passover with and time in the park with. We're having a first fruits ceremony in the city of David, waving a sheaf of barley grain before the Lord, because Resurrection Sunday is the festival of first fruits. As they waved the sheaves before the Lord, they were proclaiming the kingdom of God for their nation or state that they were from. After we left this group, we continued to explore the city of David and even the palace excavations of David's palace, and found an ancient toilet that is from the time of King David. We then headed down underground into the tunnels, the water tunnels, Hezekiah's tunnels, they call them, under the city of David, which were actually where David had snuck into the city to capture it. It was really cool down there, and I even had the opportunity to crown Bill King William III of the city of David. It's a fun place to explore, and you can take the wet tunnel or the dry tunnel. We took the dry tunnel, because immediately following this, we headed across town to West Jerusalem to the King of Kings Messianic Resurrection Sunday service. All in all, it was one of the most powerful and full Passover and Resurrection Sunday weekends I have ever experienced. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we will see you again soon with many more videos. Shalom.